G'day, Peter here. So I'm in Vietnam, and I just like this is a brand new house, but the standards are quite low with how they build houses and how they think about things. I mean, like just switches are in the wrong places or not conveniently placed, and lots of things like that. So, but also this is the laundry area out here, and we bought a washing machine, and the guys come out and fitted it on the Sunday, which was fantastic. But they decided to buy an extra long hose, flexible hose, and run it all the way along the wall there and down to there, instead of like anybody in Australia would have run a copper pipe over into the corner, straight up the wall, across the roof, right, and down into that corner there. So then you could put the washing machine over there and run water onto it and whatever. But so currently that's the water issue, but then there's also a power issue too. There's no power points out here. Like I guess nobody in Vietnam has a washing machine except for us, I think. So anyway, so we got the air conditioner up there, and it runs down here and draws power from here, and so it's pretty simple. Like we want power on the other side of this wall here, and so this is the power point here. Now, unlike now let me disclaim this. I'm not a certified electrician, so any advice is for informational purposes only, and you should consult a qualified tradesperson and never touch electrical work without being licensed. But anyway, so all of that aside, we're in Vietnam, and I don't know that any of those regulations count. But what you do have to know is in Vietnam, there's no earth wires. They've just got AC power with two active wires, right? They don't have a neutral wire. In Australia, we've got a neutral wire and an earth wire, right? But in Vietnam, they've literally just got the two. I might be describing this wrong or incorrectly, so don't sue me. It's either two actives or it's an active and a neutral. I'm not quite sure, but but what I do know about it is that in Australia, if you grab hold of the active or the neutral and you touch, so you got the active in your hand, you touch earth, you die. You got the active in your hand, you touch neutral, you die. There's a lot of ways to die in Australia. In Vietnam, you can literally hold one wire on one side of the phase, and provided you don't contact the other side, it doesn't matter because it's not earthed, and so your chance of dying is a lot lower. Like I went into a shop today to buy a fan, and like the guy had the 240 volt, those like little alligator clips, and the fan wasn't wired up to a plug, and so he just stripped off the wires on the end of the fan and put two little alligator clips on it, and then he had a wire that ran to a normal plug like this, and so it was just stripped off, and then he just put the alligator clips on it and plugged it back in. And I mean, so you you wouldn't do that in Australia, that's for sure, because you'd only have to touch one wire and ground, and the electricity is flowing through you. So anyway, so then I got my 12 mil masonry bit, which that's not a 12 mil masonry bit. I've put it away already, I think, and I just a level, and a pen, and you just, like, I marked from the middle. I pulled this cover off. The power's still on at the moment. I just pulled that cover off, and then I leveled around the wall, put a little mark here, put a little mark there, put a little mark there, and leveled around, and you just, when you level around the wall, like, that's my little mark there, and it come over to there. But when you level around, as long as you keep the bubble in the middle, right, of those two bars, if it's up like that bubble, you're going to be drawing a line on an angle, right? So you can take the mark from one side around the wall to the other side, just with a fairly cheap little tool like that, and then I just measured so I marked that line across there, and then I just measured from here to here on the other side, and so then I knew that's where I put my hole through. So I'm literally drilling through into the back of the power point on the other side. You normally need a hammer drill for that, but in this case I didn't have a hammer drill, and it's just mortar that they've got here, so I just drilled straight through. So now, and then I just put in, I've marked 2 holes to drill 2 more little holes to put the cover plate on, and that cover plate there will just let me plug this switch on onto the other side of the wall there. See, so then we'll have power here for the washing machine. Nice and easy, simple little job. So so now I've got my drill, and you know, sorry, I'm not very good at editing videos, so it's either one take or it's multiple videos that you have to find the rest of it then later. So I hope you forgive me for that as well. If you want to help me with editing or tell me a good software package to use, let me know in the comments. And obviously the power is still on at the moment, but I'm not running this drill bit all the way through the other side. Just running it in deep enough to put me little plugs in. And so here's these little plugs that you buy, and they're just a little plastic plug, so you drill into the masonry. So this works on cement like this fairly well, and then see, that's a tight fit there, but then by the time you put the screw into that, then it really jams it into the hole. Now, you know, when you don't have a hammer, a back of a screwdriver will do, and you tap that down. That made hard work of doing that job, I can tell you. You kind of need that tapped down as far as you can, because otherwise it holds the plate up. So I might have to do something about that later. But anyway, so that just mounts my plate there, easy. I'll just put some gap filler around that later, and then I just, you know, I bought a little piece of wire which I had here. I'll just go and have a look for it. Here we go. Yeah, so just a little piece of wire. I'll strip that back. Right now, it doesn't matter which, you know, there's only, so you just piggyback this into the back of the other plug. So you just undo the screw on one side, undo the screw on the other side. Now I'm not going to touch that until I disconnect the power. So even though I've said it's safe, or not safe, it's a lot safer. I'm still going to disconnect the power and then unscrew that and just feed the wires in, but I'll do that last, right? And so I'll strip those 2 wires off. You just put one on one side, one on the other side. In this country, it doesn't matter which side goes where, right? In Australia, it actually does matter because of the neutral and the earth, but here it doesn't. And so I've got my hole through the back there, right? And so I'll just feed that through from the other side, put the 2 wires into there, put 2 wires into the back of this plug, right, to feed the power to this one, screw it all back together. Bob's your uncle. You know, no need to call the electrician. Now, having said all of that, you know, this whole awning here that I've got here, that we hang our clothes under here, so all of the steel frame here, with the guttering and all of this security bars around and everything. A guy came and built that on Sunday for 5 million V&D, so about $300, 330 bucks, and it took him all day. So I'm guessing that if I'd paid an electrician or somebody to come and do this job, it would have taken him not very long. But for my peace of mind, I think that I'll get the plug where I want it to be instead of where they want it to be, because oftentimes over here they really, well, I mean, they just don't have any experience in setting up plugs for washing machines. So I'd end up with the plug down on the floor where the water is, or I'd end up with some crazy idea of how to do it. But anyway, so hope that helps somebody know how to, you know, or what's involved in your electrical work, even if you're not planning on doing it yourself. At least you know that these things aren't complicated. It's not that hard. It's just you know, just a little bit of thinking to make sure that you got everything right before you go, and definitely make sure you turn off the power before you actually touch any of the wiring, right? So all right, like, comment, subscribe, share, and hopefully if you stay tuned, I'll be uploading some videos of me driving around and seeing things. Oh, and price wise too, this plug setup, that whole setup cost $2.50 thereabouts, right? Nearly 30,000 VND. So it's just so cheap to buy stuff over here, and and the drill bits cost me $1 for the small one and $2 for the big one. So you know, it's just such a cheap little thing to do, and then it's done. Anyway, all right, catch you on the next one.